Sure. Lift it up, and now's a great time to find out that the muffler was loose. Not too often you see a loose muffler. So there's the main pump, this body right here. So all we got left is to let the radiator finish draining. It's loose already, so it's just a matter of slide the sucker out of there. Might have to pop the shroud off, but yeah. So a few minutes to pop it out. To this point here, I have an hour, maybe an hour and a half at the extreme most into it, and that's with messing with some camera time. So it goes pretty quick. We'll have to get a new little piece of pipe here and make a new fuel line. That I don't even waste time. You know, it's up through, you just got that little hole in the casting that you get the wrench up through, and it wanted to twist the pipe, and it ain't worth my time and his time for me to dink around when for $5 we can make a new pipe. But yeah, so that's what we're after this morning, is that pump right there. With the radiator gone, they'll have access to the coupler. We'll put new belts on while we're here. But he got super lucky. He wants an emergency turnaround. We got a pump. Dad put this pump together for another tractor project, thinking that the other one, he was going to need it. Turned out that when he tore that other pump apart, it looked like brand new inside, so he just put a seal kit in it and did the normal flip your, work on the valves. You got inlet valves on these pumps. They all turned out to be super good. Excuse me, that's an outlet valve. The inlet valves, I don't know if he's got one down here anywhere, but the inlet valves, you just flip the little disc over and you're good to go. Pistons and everything looks super good. There's one. There's your inlet valve. And so you just take this little disc. If that disc has a groove, that one's got a tiny groove worn in it. Not too bad. You just flip them over, but whatever. So he is able to get the other guy's pump going. So as luck has it, this pump can go into this tractor, so we can get this guy back out today with any luck, unless we find other issues. And so, yeah, I have to say on a quick side note before I finish pulling that radiator is these 4055s. What a gorgeous little tractor they were. You had the nice quad range, or they had the beautiful 15-speed in them. You had that 7.6 liter engine, which was used all the way up into 300 horsepower applications, but in this one you're only at 115. This engine would run forever. On these series engines, if you go to the older Deeres, you had that aneroid up on top here, and I showed a video how to bypass that, so you got plenty of torque in the mid-range. But they ran a different torque capsule. If you take your older pumps in, you can have them put in a late model capsule to get your, the older ones had like a 5 or 10% torque rise capsule. I think by this series they had like a 25 or 40% torque rise capsule. They're just a strong, right from the idle tractor. Just a dream tractor for the smaller farms. They sold by the millions to small dairies. They were a great, for a 50 and 60 cow dairies that were around here when these were new. These were the main tractors on a lot of them dairy farms. It did the tillage, it did the hay, and it did the chores. But yeah, for me, I would love it. I can't afford this one, but I would absolutely love to have something like this for doing my hay side of stuff. All the cutting, raking, and baling, and carrying bales and whatnot. Put a little loader on here. That'd be a gorgeous little setup tractor. Mike P can attest. Mike P 7810 is another guy that I watch on YouTube. He's got one, and he's out east too, I believe, for you Pennsylvania guys. Don't quote me on that, but I think he's out east too, because he's got a 4555 with short axles. And short axles either mean Canada, that southeast Canada, Pennsylvania, or that eastern area. It is definitely not a Midwestern tractor with short axles, so he must be out there somewhere. He can attest to what it is. An absolutely gorgeous little tractor they are. Okay, that's enough old school, new generation type praises for something Deere actually did right. Time to pull that radiator. Well, there we go. There's the pump. Does the guy have to use this strap to get it out? No, you do not. But it is a nasty potential for a great finger smasher. Probably won't ever cut a finger off, but you will swear if you're rolling your hand underneath and trying to rock it up and something gets snagged, you bump a pipe. I unhooked the pipes, but they kind of spring back and you got your one hand underneath. It ain't even worth it. I have no pride loss anymore in not being a tough guy, and just do it the smart way. I remember as a young kid, I used to set heads by hand. I just lift them off, and send everything out when it's ready to put the together. I just lift the head on and put it up against my chest and just set it on the block. But now we have overhead hoists, and I got a good relationship with my chiropractor. So on that note, set him down, do a little cleanup, and see what we got for parts on hand to a lot of these hoses, you know, these hoses are 30 years old, and so they're hard, and they need replacing, and see what else we got going on here, and then we'll start putting it together.